PWO, 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 PWO.
Hello. It's Thursday night, and you're joining on Podcast World Order, PWO. As always, I'm your host, Matt, back from suspension.
Which was an unjust suspension.
We're going to keep his intro short.
You're lucky to be back.
It's Ben from Colorado.
I'm what the people clamor for, Pat. Thank you for having me back, and thank you for seeing that the suspension was unjust, Matt.
I don't go putting words in my mouth yet. Now, as always, the cornerstone of PWO, Jeff Hitman Hall.
Hello.
And back, as always, by popular demand, it's Pat.
I think I did the intro better last week.
I think it was Wednesday or Monday. Time is an abstract concept now.
Time is a myth, like North Dakota and the Loch Ness Monster.
But I don't want to waste too much of it because there is a lot to talk about tonight in general.
Yes, there is.
I'm going to go ahead and start off with, we have, I believe, all of our contestants in the Ring of Honor Pure tournament coming up here to crown. They're bringing back the Pure Wrestling Championship at Ring of Honor.
I'm good because I couldn't find them all for whatever reason.
So it took me a little bit. I was kind of surprised. Not any news sources had it posted, which was surprising to me. But Wikipedia, of all people, have it.
Is it real then?
Well, from what it matches up with what I saw when Ring of Honor announced them.
Okay.
And I had to double check because for a second I thought Jonathan Gresham wasn't on the list, and I was like, "How are you going to have a Pure tournament without Jonathan Gresham?" And before I get going, Ben.
Yes.
You have stated now, outside of the show, that you are no longer making picks. Is that continuing for the night?
Are we keeping up with that?
I am asking you. That's why I'm asking now.
If we're making picks tonight, I'll make picks.
Just don't hold them against you.
There are definitely picks being made for All Out.
So then I guess I have to be making picks.
All right. So I'm going to give you guys our contestants. I'm going to ask early thoughts, and maybe if we have too early, who we think's going to win. Because way too early predictions, I think, are going to be hilarious. So officially announced have been Jay Lethal, Matt Sydal, Jonathan Gresham, Tracy Williams, PJ Black, David Finlay, Josh Woods, Kenny King, Rocky Romero, Dalton Castle, Delirious, and Silas Young, as well as making their Ring of Honor debut, Tony Deppen, Wheeler Yuta, Russ Taylor, and Fred Yehi. I may have messed up Fred Yehi's last name, but
Did you leave off Dalton Castle? I thought Dalton Castle.
No, he said
No.
Dalton.
Okay.
No, he said Dalton.
I just missed it.
and so from my understanding, this tournament is going to be held G1 style, round robin, A bracket, B bracket.
Okay.
And just a quick reminder for those of you who do not know the Pure Wrestling rules, each wrestler has 3 rope breaks to stop submission holds or pinfalls during the match. After they have used all 3 rope breaks, any submissions or pin attempts under the ropes are considered legal. There are no closed fist punches to the face allowed, only open hand slaps and chops. Punches to the other part of the body, except for low blows, are permitted. The first use of a closed fist would get a warning. The second would cause the wrestler to be penalized a rope break. If he is already out of rope breaks, he would be disqualified.
Oh.
We use the New Japan style countouts, so the 20 count. And unlike other championships, the Ring of Honor Pure Championship can change hands on a disqualification or countout.
Okay.
So, given the names, and this may be hard, so if you need me to relist them, I can. Who do you guys think is going to stand out in this tournament immediately?
Without having seen the brackets, your final is going to be Dalton Castle defeating Silas. And Silas is going to lose via disqualification of closed hand fist. I sat in on the creative for them. Spoiler alert.
That's
Is that
fair.
a spoiler alert or a
I just ruined the whole tournament. I'm sorry.
what is it that?
But in all seriousness, I'm hoping that this is going to be a resounding return to dominance and prominence for Dalton Castle. That is who I'm hoping and going to predict wins the tournament.
Oddly enough, I'm going to agree with Patrick 100%. I think Dalton Castle is going to win. I think my dark horse is probably Jonathan Gresham because he was kind of on a heater when everything slowed down a little bit. I mean, him and Lethal, but you know,
Gresham is my pick to win it.
Yeah,
He's-
I
he's
want to
been-
go Gresham, but I just got a feeling Castle. Like I think Castle can use this as a stepping stone to kind of get back on top. But
How great would it be for a boys reunion as well?
it
you'll
won't
never
happen because the boys are in.
I know they're gone, but
never see somebody pop
you
so
can find
hard.
2 new boys.
But yeah, no, I am actually splitting the group. I think the early final, without anything going on, is going to be Dalton Castle, Jonathan Gresham.
I think it's fair. Yeah, I feel like Gresham has been such a voice to get the Pure title back. He's been cutting scathing promos. They've been posted on Twitter as well. Really kind of attacking other styles of wrestling. I mean, really he is the heel poster boy for most of Jeff Hitman Hall's ideals here of wrestling purists.
Yeah. I also wouldn't be surprised if you see a Jay Lethal, Jonathan Gresham. You know,
Yeah, that would be.
That
as
is
well,
kind of my thought.
which I hope we do. But
And from my understanding, one of the first rounds is Matt Seidel versus Delirious is one of the first matchups. And it's going to be Jay Lethal versus they had him versus someone else. I think it's Jay Lethal, Dave Finlay, but that may be wrong.
that'll be a knockdown drag out. I'm just happy for Ring of Honor. Thank the heavens, the wrestling gods, as a palate
very
cleanser. I
excited.
can't wait. God, I can't wait.
And also, have to shout this out before we move on. Next week, so Ring of Honor during this time period have been posting their week by week playback hosted by everyone's favorite Quinn McKay.
Yes, Quinn.
Yeah.
Quinn.
Oh my
Quinn.
God. I just had like, wait, am I just adding her and Billy Kay together? What am I doing here? Had a moment there. Oh dear Lord.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron Burgundy. So next week, they've been doing these play-by-play weeks for about 20-minute long YouTube videos. That have been awesome. You've gotten a lot of great interviews. You've gotten a lot of fun promos, getting to know the wrestlers of Ring of Honor. Next week, though, it will be replaced by Happy Hour with PWO's favorite tag team. It's the Bouncers.
No bouncers.
Bouncers,
excited.
number one friends of PWO.
I actually took a picture and I had to tweet them. I had to do the fanboy thing there. I was like, just really happy that I can watch these guys on TV again.
It's gonna be a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I'm excited. We're gonna quickly move there to Impact. We had a pretty news-filled Tuesday. We're gonna get to NXT next, and I know we got some opinions on the main event there, but we got to talk about the two big news coming out of Impact.
The one big news.
Well,
The other one is not big news.
it is considered big news by them, so they are promoting it as such, so I will announce it as such. So the lighter one is Tennille Dashwood has made her return to Impact. And I think for me, and we've had this conversation off camera, is how much of this kind of throws a wrench in what you're doing between Kylie Ray and Deonna Purrazzo. But
Everything they did right with Deonna Purrazzo, they'll have done wrong if Tennille Dashwood comes back and actually beats her for the title.
I hate-
Dashwood is awful.
Yeah, I hate to be that person, but she's not.
She's not good.
She's not good.
Not good.
I
For
understand
as much as Peraza was misused in WWE, Dashwood was given two
Yeah.
opportunities.
No, I agree with it, Pat, 100%. I wouldn't even say misused. She just wasn't used.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
and like
Dashwood
you said,
is
and
not good. She's over for being hot. She's not a good wrestler.
Well, you gotta remember, I think the big thing for her and why she really has a lot of this popularity is when her and Paige were like the two women's wrestlers in
Paige
NXT,
was
and
awful
everyone,
too.
sure, but it was a step up from what we were getting with the Bellas, and I think that's a big part of that.
yeah.
She's still.
I mean,
awful.
yeah.
Still awful.
Oh, you're right.
We all know.
Pat,
about-
you seem to be in a dilemma.
And the other news is Impact has a new world champion.
This,
Eric Young
This is
defeated
good.
Eric
This is great news.
Yeah.
They do. Oh, EY.
little hooker by crook, but new world champ. So I thought this was interesting. This really kind of throws everything out from what was going to happen or what they had spoiled for us with that Bound for Glory lineup that I talked about last Thursday.
I was suspended.
Hopefully that means that Rich Swann is not coming back anytime soon.
And hopefully that means
like we talked about.
hopefully Ken Shamrock is not getting a world title match.
Oh,
As
God.
long as EY breaks his skull, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah.
It does matter. I don't want Ken Shamrock in the main event.
I'm good with it if Eric Young bashes his brains in.
Any other thoughts before we move on to NXT?
Happy for EY. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome to see.
Very, very happy for EY. My notes decided to close.
Well, Matt, you should. Why'd you
Well-
close your notes?
Next
didn't.
up is NXT.
NXT, and really the main thing here, I can give.
Iron Man match.
Well, I was gonna give us some quick results. We had Bronson Reed lose to Timothy Thatcher with some help from Austin Theory.
Good to see Bronson Reed's pushes over.
Yeah, I hope that is wrong, but
as much as I like to see
Man,
my
I hope,
boy,
I hope so, but freaking.
as much as I like to see my boy Thatcher go over, I don't know. I'm not as hardcore against Bronson Reed as Pat is. I actually like Bronson Reed.
No, I
Listen,
like Bronson
guys.
Reed. I'm sad his push would be over.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay,
You know
yeah.
what we need to do, guys? We need to go to the moon.
Well, we'll get to Cameron Grimes a little bit later, but I do enjoy Cameron Grimes.
Love
Yeah,
me
he's-
some Grimes.
He's great.
We had a six-man street fight between Legado del Fantasma versus Breezango and Isaiah Swerve Scott. Faces went over here with Swerve hitting the JML driver on Escobar.
Yeah.
I think setting up your cruiserweight title match. Imperium attacked Breezango after the match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing that happened. Candice LeRae beat Casey Catanzaro. Continue pushing for Tegan
Yeah.
Knox to join next week.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Heel Candice LeRae, heel Johnny Gargano don't do it for me. I'm not a fan, really, of Candice LeRae in general. But,
Just
No.
Not really all that good.
No, she sucks pretty bad too.
uh,
NXT been pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yep.
Especially the main event.
Which
See?
is exactly what we're getting into.
I disagree with you, Pat. I thought it was great.
Well, it was terrible booking. It was booked terribly. That whole match was booked to just where you're supposed to get a world champion, and because they're getting their asses whooped in the ratings so bad, they had an hour-long Fatal 4-Way Iron Man match just to set up a singles match for the world title the next week. That's called we are desperate for ratings, and we're trying to put a championship match on every main event.
I'm an equal opportunist. Again, Iron Man matches should be scheduled. It should be completed in the allotted time that they're given. Damn it.
They completed it in the allotted time. It was just a tie.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, and it's terrible booking because you're trying to have a champion be named. It was terrible booking.
Yeah.
It's awful.
And we'll have a champion next week.
But that's kind of the thing is that
Well,
Not-
maybe.
Not,
Maybe.
not necessarily. What if
Yeah.
that match is thrown out?
I mean, the word has been that the
The-
singles
the-
match will lead to a takeover match, not necessarily next week. For all we know, we get a double count out next week. We get, I don't know, both of them get jumped by someone.
Well,
The point is the booking is has been terrible.
yeah, and since AEW and WWE are putting pressure on each other, and it's a copycat wrestling league to some extent, we'll get someone will interfere, and then we'll have another 4-way or 3-way for an opportunity to be the heavyweight champion.
NXT has been so stale for like the last 6 months.
Jesus.
It's been since they've come to TV. I really think that's it.
It's bad.
It hasn't even really felt like, genuinely, it hasn't felt like the NXT that we have sat here and we have praised upon.
Well, no, because but we all knew this. As soon as it went, well, I don't want to say mainstream, but as soon as it went to the wars and the Wednesday Night Wars, well, then that meant that Vince and God forbid, whoever else is going to get involved, and now you got, or you may or may not have Triple H down there. Who knows? But you also have Shawn Michaels and what's his face. So Bloom, Road Dogg. Imagine that. So who really knows what's going on? But again, like I always say, the buck stops with Vince no matter what. So
I almost feel like it's overexposure because you saw it prior to them coming to TV. They didn't have to put the same people on week after week after week. Adam Cole, Gargano, and Ciampa were able to save a lot of their character because they weren't having to be out there every Wednesday. You got some breaks. You got a week or two before they did their next thing.
Yeah.
Now it is just hand over fist. We need to pump this in front of you. I feel like that drastic change is like, whereas we're typically used to it with every other show, it's worse because we haven't had that.
it's just bland booking. Again, it's worse than AEW because they have the talent to do whatever the hell they want. You know what I mean? Like, as good as AEW's roster is, I mean, really, the WWE roster, on a whole is better and could be a better product. But again, at the end of the day, they choose not to. They choose to give people whatever it is that they think they're giving us, or fooling whoever the hell they think they're fooling.
Well, the sad thing is WWE has guys like Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Cameron Grimes, who are all fresh faces, fresh opportunities, and you recycled the 4 champions you had on roster for this match in the first place just to give us a Finn Cole matchup.
Yeah.
All over. And you just had an hour-long match with the two of them. Where it'll just be another fucking, we're gonna do our spots and there's no, that's the problem too, is WWE is so watered down, there's no imagination in their match booking. Even NXT is becoming safe cookie cutter wrestling compared to every other, your Impacts, your AEW, your Ring of Honors.
Well,
It's not been. They haven't done inventive things. They haven't done out of the box things. It's been very boring.
Well, and then you got all your NXT guys. They may come up, they may not come up, and then when they come up, they don't do anything with them. And again, I'm not, or you got Solid Snake attacking Kevin Owens on national television.
That's what I said too. Is he's freaking Metal Gear Solid? That's great. I'm glad I wasn't the only one.
I'm okay with it. I love Metal Gear. Apparently, he's got to get pushed now, so Catch does it. Whatever.
Push right out the door.
Thank you. That's what my T-shirt should say. Push right out the door.
So, you guys ready to go to AEW?
Fuck. Yes. Why did we spend 20 minutes on non-AEW things?
Because we had 20 minutes worth of stuff to go over.
The Impact stuff is good. EY.
Okay, I guess. EY is good.
So, AEW, from all accounts, this is been received mixed. It's got a pretty mixed review. Either a lot of people loved this episode, a lot of people did not like this episode. Judging now, Jeff, I have to ask,
Yeah.
how much of the show was ruined because of the very bad ref spot in the opening match between Santana and Ortiz and the best friend?
Okay, I'll go on my rant here. You guys know me. No. You know my take. Blah blah blah. My only thing is this is by and large this is the best. I would that doesn't matter. This is the best wrestling program on U.S. soil, correct? Can we all? That's genuinely the sentiment. Well, it's just simple things, as in the nuts and bolts. Like it's just little stuff. Like this is what frustrates me the most is that WWE is so bad now that NXT could really be even 10 times, let's just say, worse than it really is, and it would still be better than WB because it's that bad. I just don't want for some of the older wrestling fans like myself and or newer wrestling fans that don't even know they like wrestling, the opportunity that they have now to put on good shows is important because we'll probably never see anything. As in us fans now probably won't see, our age group may not see anything like this in our lifetime with somebody getting another shot at wrestling or a giant push like this. So I just want them to do things correctly and right because these opportunities don't come around, like that. So if you're telling me that this is the best show, show on American soil, can we count the three correctly? Can we just do the little things? That's the stuff that drives me insane. I can argue bad booking and what I think is good and bad, but at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Can we just get the wrestling 101 things correct? Like knowing who's in the ring, saying people's correct names, knowing who's legal man, who's not messing up spots. Like we want to throw people to the ropes, but we can't throw them to the ropes. We got to turn the other way because Rick Knox is standing turned around watching the action. Like that's the stuff that drives me insane. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a fair assessment, and I completely understand that frustration. I gotta say, so the spot in particular that we're referring to is Santana Ortiz and Best Friends open the show up. Best Friends blindside them from the start. We get a pretty gnarly spot of also never forget Chuck Taylor quoting a quote, "I'm gonna kill him." That's premeditated murder right there.
Listen, you don't touch Chuck. Was it Trent's mom? You don't touch Trent's mom. You don't touch Sue.
It was just the van.
You don't touch Sue.
I believe Ortiz was saying Sue needs to stop hitting up his cell phone.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he touched her. Bitch just needs to stop calling his phone.
But Chuck got thrown through chairs.
Yeah, stay
That was
out
a
of
great
him.
spot. But the big part of this was Best Friends are making their return. I know it as the Dude Buster. Is that the consensus name for it still?
But they called it on TV.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank God. So Trent hits the Dude Buster, but doesn't go for the typical cover where he holds him. He lets him roll. And I don't know if Ortiz just rolls a little too far or when Trent goes to cover him, pushes him too far, rolling him over. But clearly Ortiz's, part of his head is under the ropes. Should have never been considered a pinfall to begin with via the rules of rope break.
Yeah. Yes, and then they make the mess the count up, and then now the bless their hearts, the commentary has to try to, it's not their fault. Yeah, they're trying to just make, this is rough, and this isn't
common denominator for most of this.
Oh, it's Rimsberg. He's terrible.
It's Rimsberg.
But you know who's worse than him? Knox. He's actually worse. Again, like I said last week, I gotta watch again. As much as I don't like the Young Bucks, I gotta watch Matt Jackson tell Rick Knox who the legal man is, and him say no for 10 seconds, and was like, "Oh shit, actually he is right. Let me count." Like, wow, what's his face is just on the ground, like Christ, like kicking his legs, like, is this the longest pin in the world, or like?
Yeah, no. As a referee, you have very few jobs. You got to know the legal man. And that's one of my major complaints with AEW is every tag team match, at some point, everybody comes into the ring and it just turns into a brawl for all.
That's like every tag team match ever, though.
Yeah.
I'm to the point where I've even accepted that. That's the AEW. There kind of really is no rules. They just go for it, and it is what it is. But can we count
it's every
to 3?
Match ever.
correctly. Like now it is, yes.
That happens,
like, you know.
that happens literally everywhere.
Can we know who the right person is? Can we call people by their correct names? Lucha Express doesn't exist.
Now, to be
JR's
fair,
old, man. JR's old.
Well, then that's fine, but then his ass shouldn't be on television. Like, sorry, I hate to. I don't know what to tell you.
He's way better than a lot of the other guys that are doing the job right now.
listen, I'll take JR over Michael Cole any day.
I'll take.
I'm not even gonna.
Michael
I'm not even-
Cole, Vic Joseph.
WWE doesn't even count.
Morrow, thank God, is finally gone.
Please.
I love me some
Now,
Wade Barrett though on commentary.
I will say, if I
Couldn't-
can interrupt, apparently Morrow has called it because his mom is really sick back at home. So I do want to say, I hope everything works out well there, and I hope everyone gets back to being healthy. Even if I dislike someone's commentary.
Sure, yeah. I mean, nobody
Yeah.
So,
You gotta take care of
Take
mama.
that.
wants personal harm for the guy, but thank God he's off television.
yeah. I mean,
Nobody
like,
wants
don't like his commentary style. It's not
separating
necessarily me.
the person from the TV personality. The
Well,
TV personality we're not big fans of. As a person, we will hope him the best.
Yeah, especially as such an advocate for mental health. Can never bash him on
Yes.
that. But I did want to make sure that was stated so that's known. Some people will sometimes confuse that. So it's not like we're talking about other
That's fair.
individuals whose names we're not going to say on the show.
Uh-oh.
What? No, I mean you know who. But
No, I know. I'm just saying. Oh.
so, Pride and Powerful pick up the win here with the street sweeper. Little dirty finish here. Santana hits Trent with the nightstick. Sets him up, street sweeper, done.
Pride and Powerful has also stolen the way I spell powerful.
Well, that's another thing here.
I'm sure you weren't the first person to abbreviate it that way in the history of the world.
You're probably not wrong, but I'm the first one to claim it.
Well, they did it on TV, so I think they have more
I
ownership
have to
than
win
you.
there.
All right, let's move on because we gotta
Yes,
get
roll.
we can get to picks here.
Yep, I'm getting to it. My notes. God, I don't know what's up with my computer today. Really
Going
hoping,
crazy.
yeah, really hoping I'm not gonna start lagging here. If this is out of order, I apologize. I kind of go off of what I know while this is still coming up. I'm definitely out of order here. Britt Baker attacked Big Swole in the audience. They had Rebel, Reba, whatever you want to call her, bring her a pizza, and Baker bashed Big Swole in the back with her crutches.
Yep.
Well-
And then they announced it's going to be a tooth and nails match at the dentist's office.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So
Listen, as much as for some of us are old enough, some of us watch WCW, and they're obviously not WCW. But boy, they are starting to come up with some of these mimosas, tooth and nails. Like they're starting to have these little,
The
yeah,
Mimosa Mayhem match to me was totally making fun of Eye for Eye match.
which
That's how
is
I took
fine.
that.
But I'm just saying they're starting to have. They're not on the pole yet, but they're getting
Yeah.
close.
so Matt, if you want, Matt,
I
if your computer's still messing up, I can roll here with some results.
have it's coming and going here.
So Young Bucks,
Young Bucks.
Jurassic
Left.
Express defeated SCU and Private Party in an 8-man tag match where the winners would face each other at All Out. One thing I want to note here, and this is something that other people complain about, but I love this about AEW and I love this about JR. People were complaining about FTR talking about making millions of dollars and being 7-figure guys and stuff like that. And people are complaining like, oh, they don't make that kind of money. Like it's called kayfabe, guys. And JR does a great job of constantly putting over like, Well, this is a huge match for both tag teams because you get that pay-per-view purse. You're going to make that extra money.
Well,
And AEW does a really great job of. It's almost like the old territory days where they talk about like you're being paid per show, and I love that because again, kayfabe makes wrestling great.
You're right, Pat. But the problem is that this modern wrestling. Some of the people that watch it have no idea what a purse is. They have no idea that wrestlers get paid to wrestle. Yeah, you know what I mean.
And get extra for winning or being champ.
Yeah. They have no idea that it can be used. It's not fighting like boxing, but they have no idea that it can be used in that type of way. Everything is it's a performance. Well, yes, but it's also professional wrestling, and so a lot of people don't even know what kayfabe means / prize fighting and this, that, and the other.
And it's so underrated because that wanting to get the high purse and wanting to be the champ so you're making money is motivation enough for a heel turn. And
Absolutely.
It's good storytelling and it doesn't take a lot. And they do that. And Young Bucks had a whole different demeanor. There were no nonsense. They didn't pose when they came out. They kind of got into it with Jurassic Express throughout the match, which was I thought was all real good.
Pat, they had your favorite word out there. They had a plan out there, boy.
Yeah, buddy.
They took some random guy's beer in the audience and poured it on him.
Well, he shouldn't have been asking for Hangman and telling him to drink his beer because, their friend's an alcoholic like they stated last week.
I just have a bad feeling that they're not like the Bucks coming out like tough guys, or being tough, or we're serious now. Oh, watch out now. But I just feel like they're playing this safe with Hangman, so in case they decide to go back on all of this, they can. Or am I the only one that?
No. I think that
we're
is.
getting there.
I think that's intentionally going to happen. To be honest with you, I think that's the plan the whole time. Because we're going to get heel Kenny. And we're going to have remorseful, growing Hangman, and that's how you're going to keep him face because you need baby faces.
Which is fine. I just don't like the way it's been.
I don't think the Bucks are just going to take him back after the title changes hands.
Before I get there, I do want to go over the Kenny Omega interview that happened as well. Because I think this is going to explain at least where I think my head is at now. Because I was pretty certain I knew exactly how this was going down, and then this threw a couple of loops into my predictions for later. So Omega's out. He's doing the interview with Shivone, and Skivone. God, I'm losing my mind tonight. And Kenny Omega says, "Look, Hangman's got to make his own mistakes. At the end of the day, he's got to live with it. It's not on me to work that out with him, but at the end of the day, we are the best. We're going to beat FTR, blah, blah, blah. FTR comes out with their case. They say, hey, look, nothing but respect. We're going to have the match with you, but before we do it, we want to have one last toast for the match. Hands him his chocolate milk.
No, they handed him chalk.
Kenny's like, yeah, pasteurized chalk. Because he's shortened chocolate milk into chalk. Yeah.
I like to think
essentially
there's just chalk in there.
If we're going to do this, just get it over with. Is this a 2-on-1 or is this 3-on-1? Tully's over there. Just do me a favor, keep him away because I can already start to smell his Depends because Tully's old. Hangman comes out, and God, I don't know if they're intentionally doing this with makeup.
Yeah, they are, and it looks bad. I don't like it, but
no, they had weird, pink, purple, eyeliner.
Yeah, he looked like he was. He looked like he was drunk and crying, like he has a problem. Like they're trying to.
Yeah, I really like that portrayal.
That was really good. What are we talking about?
I mean, I get it, but.
They're trying. I mean, he came.
I get it.
Yeah, he came out with a. He still came out with a
shot glass.
Shot of scotch or whiskey.
All I know is this: I'm gonna need Hangman to kick somebody's ass here soon. I'm tired of Hangman walking around here like a little.
He's gonna hit rock bottom on Saturday. He's gonna hit rock bottom Saturday.
Yeah, I really think he is.
He's gonna totally fall apart on Saturday, and that's why they're gonna lose the belt.
He's not gonna be hit by the rock bottom.
I'm living in a world where Matt Jackson is running around beating people up like Brock Lesnar, and Hangman's running around like a scolded puppy. And I get this is
He's not
what's
a
going
scolded
on.
Jeff, it's storytelling. He's not a scolded
No,
puppy. He's an
well, he's not.
alcoholic.
And that's fine,
This,
but
this is
I'm
the
ready
tasteful
for
way
this.
of doing this. This is the
Where you're
tasteful.
making fun. Well, you're a Hulk Hogan.
This is
man,
the
never
this
mind.
is the tasteful way of doing the Jeff Hardy storyline.
No, and this is fine, but damn it, I'm just ready. I'm just ready to see Hangman do his thing. That's all. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah, he's got to hit rock bottom before he does that.
Let him hit it
And
here.
they are on Saturday when they lose the belt, so we get the cleaner back.
I hope.
Yeah, I'm-
Well, I could care less about that, but I hope
That's
so.
because you're an idiot,
Kenny
Jeff.
with FTR. I'm really starting to think Mike DeShazer was right. I think it might be Kenny with FTR.
I hope not, because two of them will be tough guys, and the other one will be playing a tough guy wrestler.
He'll be the
Whatever.
best bout machine,
God, Jeff, you're such a hater.
greatest wrestler in the
Oh,
world.
it's such an unnecessary hater towards Kenny.
Oh,
Wait,
I'm what I
we're
am.
talking New Japan, Matt?
Huh?
I'm what I
We're
am.
talking New Japan?
Well, let me ask you this: what happens if they don't drop the belts? Then what? Or we'll worry about that.
Then-
when our
probably
heads
no,
explode.
no, then
Back
we're
to the
gonna
Young Bucks.
then there's gonna be some damn criticism because that's where the storyline's supposed to go.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. That's all.
I mean, no, but
It would be called bad booking, Jeff. Like everything we talked about the first 30 minutes of the show.
You're right.
I don't know if I go that far.
We're gonna run out of time for picks.
No, we're not.
All right, let's go. Roll.
We're 40 minutes into the show.
Yeah, we got 20 minutes, and we're mostly through this card already. Jericho murdered Joey Janela.
Good.
Did he ever?
Janela's great.
Janela on TV unwrapping his razor blade. Thank you, AEW. Bless.
The big beatdown between everybody, setting up for the Battle Royale. We have 4 names not listed yet. Also, I'll go over those when we do predictions. And for that, I'll explain that rules.
I like how that big smodge actually morphed into a battle royal somehow. I don't know. So everybody was beating each other up. I was like, okay, cool. And then we had people throwing people over like it was an actual battle royal.
No, that happens every time, like the Royal Rumble. That happens every time there's a big Battle Royale type thing.
I guess.
Because you got to prove they can throw you over the top rope. You got to know. I don't need to pin you. I just got.
I also don't like Archer. Like if you don't know what to do with him, that's fine. But then keep him away from Cage. Like why do we have 2 heels? Like kind of starting to knock bump heads. I don't like.
Because they're gonna eliminate each other. The story's gonna be they're gonna
You
eliminate.
need a
each other.
storyline why neither of them win.
No, that's fine, but I coming out of this, I don't want to see 3 or 4 matches between 2 of your somewhat of your top heels. That's all I'm saying. Like,
You'll probably get one.
Yeah, probably one. Thunder Rosa defeated Serena Dead. Deeb, whatever. Who cares? Thunder Rosa's great.
Yeah.
over Moon.
God, I can't wait for that match. I cannot wait for that match.
I'm surprised they didn't do anything at all. Like that was uncharacteristic AEW. Like she didn't come out and like point or do like nothing. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I was fine with it. Like they're letting it breathe. You know what I'm saying? And
Give her time.
and building it up. Yeah.
And I believe the last thing that we get here is Jon Moxley versus MJF's lawyer Mark Sterling. Mox beats Sterling. They have their comedy spots in there. Mox toying with his food. Finally, after the match, the beatdown happens. Wardlow and MJF just unleash on Moxley. And this is kind of like your MJF is now like, you want your violence, here it is. I thought this was a good look going in.
Yeah, that was great. That's old school heat. That's how you get heat. I get them sometimes because they still kind of like weirdly 50-50. Not only on 50-50 book MJF, but he's such an asshole that he shouldn't be touched until, you know what I'm saying? Like he just shouldn't be touched until it's time to touch him. But they this week was great with what he's, everything he did to Mox, and it, for whatever, Mox, you're going to have to kill with a freight train because that's how they booked him. But he looked human, he looked human yesterday. So it was good. That's good stuff. And you got Wardlow looking like Wardlow, and your last impression was like, man, like, well, maybe MJF can beat him. And I pray to the wrestling gods that he does.
Great touch where he pie faces Mox on the ground and then rubs the blood on his face. Great spot.
MJF doesn't. Nothing he does looks like he's trying to do or trying to be something that he's not. It's everything looks great.
The only long term
brilliant is, to a degree, you saw some responses on Twitter of it being like, man, that was a bit much. That was a lot.
Oh, well, because
no, but that's kind of the thing. I think they need to do that. I mean, they need to have those kind of uncomfortable moments to push that MJF is a psychotic little guy.
Yeah, and I don't want to say it on here, but like, John Moxley is the only one that can beat somebody up around this place. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly it. Everybody wants to see Moxley.
Again, everything else is a competition and a performance, and that's fine. Well, when you got somebody who wants to rip somebody's head off, it's too much.
Everybody's got a plan to get punched in the mouth. That's how they need to continue. It's like people got mad at Sammy Guevara for that chair shot. You know what?
Did
it go off perfectly? No.
But it happens.
Yes, and you know what? I guarantee you, Matt Hardy gave him the green light to throw that chair at him.
That's wrestling, and listen,
guarantee it was booked that way.
And hear me out. I'm not knocking your boys, but if the Young Bucks were out there beating people up, and nobody would have a problem with it. But since it's somebody serious like that really wants to, like somebody that looks like they can beat somebody up, everybody's like, now it's violent. Like, oh no, John Moxley's the only person that can beat somebody up.
I agree.
Yeah. I think you got to have your top heels doing those things that make you uncomfortable, especially if you want them to be heels.
As the All-American heel, the All-American American heel, you got to do some stuff that people don't like.
And as a part of your suspension ending, we agreed only one gimmick per show. You were still Ben from Colorado on this one.
He's already done like 4, though. You should have brought that up already.
So I do want to bring up also how he did do the lashes with Cody. I think that's great. It's great for MJF.
Yeah.
MJF's fantastic.
MJF is doing what he needs to do, so he guarantees himself wins, and that's what you got to do as a heel. He had Cody go into the cage match against Wardlow. He made him take the lashes. Like, that weakened down Cody going into the match.
A reason to boo him. You need to have something that's going to make you uncomfortable, especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
See the real side of wrestlers through their social media.
Yeah.
Through their Twitter and these things. MJF is kind of the last breed of a heel.
If you don't watch, again, I understand this is modern wrestling now, but if you don't watch wrestling and you don't at least hate one person, then that company or place isn't doing it right. That's all I'm saying. Like, you got to want to see somebody get their ass kicked. One person at least on the show.
Most people, that's Marco Stunt.
Matt, there's a difference between hating Marco Stunt and hating MJF. One guy we're supposed to hate. The other guy is a wrestler pretending to be a wrestler.
Look, he's getting paid more than us. So
yeah, it's wrestling 101.
He's doing something better than we are.
Let's
go to All Out.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
We got 13 minutes.
Let's roll.
Pre-show, and arguably, I'm okay with this being on the pre-show. Some people I know disagree, but I think this is the right match here. Britt Baker with Rebel versus Big Swole in the tooth and nail match, supposed to be cinematic. Who y'all got?
Big Swole.
I think I got Britt Baker. Because I think
you have to use her momentum, right, Matt? Like you have to use this momentum. Like you can't let her be great this whole time, and she comes back and you just slam the door on her. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm totally okay if we build her up just to have her lose to Sheeta here, because you need Sheeta beating a dominant heel before she probably coughs it back up to Nyla Rose. Although some people think Baker should get the next title, like be the next title holder, but I think use this momentum, have her win here. Big Swole has looked great throughout this entire thing, in my opinion. I think this is a great way of building up two women's wrestlers, especially when one was in a wheelchair for the majority of it.
Yeah.
I think Swole has to get the win to legitimize this whole thing. If she loses, it doesn't mean shit. She just got over on a person in a wheelchair. I think she's got to win to be considered in the upper.
Falls count
Right.
anywhere in Britt Baker's office. You already have the numbers game as well. I think you have enough to write off that Swole gets screwed.
So then we'll just continue this. This is the payoff of this. That's why Soul's going to win.
Does anybody else have a bad feeling that it's going to come down to like you're in one of the offices where you get your teeth cleaned. Here's a mask and here's the laughing gas. We're going to put this on you.
I guarantee you we'll see a
3 count.
I guarantee you we'll see a laughing gas like over
That
the
is probably how Swole is going to put Rebel out of the picture.
I would say, why would that be bad? That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it does actually make a lot of sense.
If you're gonna have a cinematic match in a dentist's office, you better have that spot. I'm just being honest.
But it'll probably be Rebel getting put out of the match.
God, something about
All right, next.
the shot.
Just a match in a dentist's office. There's something about it I think it's stupid.
Well, that match being a cinematic match, I think.
Not a swamp or
I
a
also think
boneyard or
I think all of them are.
Yeah,
Stupid.
it's all dumb. I told you it's two companies that are. I don't know.
move on.
Matt Hardy
let's go.
versus Sammy Guevara in a broken rules match, essentially very similar to Last Man Standing, except that this is more false count anywhere in terms of they're expected to go all throughout the stadium. And should Matt Hardy lose, he will leave AEW, or he must leave AEW.
Now, to be fair, if you listen to what he said, I'll leave.
We didn't say forever.
He didn't say that he wouldn't come
Guevara
back.
said
He
retire.
wouldn't come. That just
Is
might
that the-
mean Matt Hardy's leaving and Damascus is here
Is-
next week. It doesn't.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. Is it the other way? Is it same for Guevara? Or no, just loses?
no, just Matt Hardy.
Yep.
Oh man, I think Hardy's going over then.
I'm about to say, I think Matt Hardy-
Guevara is definitely going to win.
Guevara is winning. Matt's.
I hope so.
Yeah. I think Matt's gonna go away for a couple weeks. Come back as. What was his broken name for Jeff?
Broken Matt Hardy.
Broken
Or Damascus.
Damascus
Yeah.
1.0.
Yeah, he'll come back
I
as like
thought it-
Damascus or like Willow, even though that's Jeff Hardy.
I think this is gonna be a very heel heavy win show. So I think this is gonna be like your one few face matches where they win.
Yeah, I agree with you, Matt. Well, I
Um,
think that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. But
logic makes sense.
Yeah,
Jurassic Express versus Young Bucks.
Young
I
I'm tired of seeing Jurassic Express. Like
Bucks.
I'm just tired. Yeah, the Bucks.
Yeah.
think Bucks too. It
I
wouldn't
am-
surprise me, though, if maybe something happens where they like
No,
do something, stupid,
well,
but
they're going to be. They'll work heel this, and tough this match. But like, this is going to be your regular Dynamite AEW Dynamite match, and it'll be.
Yeah, this is what I think should be on the pre-show personally.
Yeah, I would have this on the pre-show, and then the Bucks aren't going to put themselves in a pre-show, but
Yeah.
I'm okay with the cinematic match being there because I don't really want to see it. That's just me, though. Dark Order, which will be Brody Lee, Colt Cabana, and the Smash Brothers of Evil Luno, Stu Grayson, versus the super babyface team of Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares. Join the Dark Order.
sorry, this whole babyface faction, you're all being sacrificed.
So
Thanks for coming.
Unless Colt turns.
that's what I was gonna say. The only way Dark Order doesn't win is if Colt decides he's not joining the Dark Order. And I told Matt already today that if Colt doesn't join the Dark Order and he costs Brody Lee this match, they better big boss man Colt Cabana on Dynamite. They better hang him from the rafters. Like he better be dealt with. Like Dark Order better murder him. Like
AJ, what was it?
character him out.
Age of the Fall or whatever
Like,
it was. What was
like
it?
Oh, I would
yeah,
actually
yes,
like
that would be great. Yes, that would be perfect. And
Um,
that would be the level of beating that Colt Cabana needs to get.
they should just they have to go over.
I think they're going
but,
over too, but I'm saying
Yeah,
Colt
but
Cabana. That would be the only way I think
But I wouldn't like that. So all of a sudden now he's decided to, you know what I'm saying, like to turn, or he never really committed, but he's been in this whole time.
Well,
No.
But
remember he-
they have kind of left him. They've made it a point where Brody's kind of walked him away when they do like a lot of their underhanded stuff.
And you're right.
intentionally. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm saying I think that's the only outcome the Dark Order doesn't win is if Colt decides he's out.
Yeah, I completely agree. Colt has to turn against the Dark Order if the Dark Order is going to lose.
All right. Casino Battle Royale. In this match already is Darby Allin, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, The Butcher, The Blade, Eddie Kingston, Sean Spears, Billy, and Austin Gunn, Jake Hager, Santana and Ortiz, Chuck Taylor, and Trent. And we have 4 names not announced yet.
So is that 3
So-
technically and one Joker technically?
Yep. Supposedly. Yeah, theoretically.
Because
So,
okay.
go ahead and give me your 4 people who you think would fill in and who you think is going to win the match overall.
Boy, I don't have a clue. I'll say 2 things here. Either obviously whoever said Joker person is, I don't know, or Darby Allin. So your 3, I guess that we don't know. I mean, I honestly have no clue. Who knows? I have no
Jeff-
idea.
Here's what they're going to do.
None.
Zicky Dice, Jeff Cobb, Nick Aldis, and a returning Pac. What was your 4?
There you
Pac
go.
here's what's going to happen. Pac is your Joker, and then you'll probably have some former like WWE superstar, like Hall of Famer, come in just for the big name, and then you'll have like a Zicky Dice and like a Jeff Cobb, and then you're going to have Ricky Starks and Darby Allin taking each other out, Brian Cage and Lance Archer taking each other out. Butcher and the Blade need to stay a team. Billy and Austin Gunn have no chance of winning, let's be real. Best Friends have to stay a team. Santana Ortiz have to stay a team. So that really leaves you with Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, Eddie Kingston, Sean Spears, or Jake Hager, or a returning Pac. And let's be real, Hager's not winning.
Kingston's in the Royal, right?
Yes, he
Yes.
is.
He might be my actually. The winner of this gets the title shot.
Yep.
Yes.
He might be my dark horse, but okay.
So that's the thing. Who do you think's going to win the world title? I'm gonna go ahead. I think Ryan sent in his surprise entrant and winner out of the announced field. His surprise entrant is Nick Aldis, and winner not announced or out of the field who was announced is Darby Allin. I will agree with him on Nick Aldis, and otherwise I think it'll be Sean Spears.
Also, I totally changed my mind.
Uh-oh.
Cody Rhodes is going to be a surprise entrant, and Cody Rhodes is going to win. And that's how you get MJF Cody Rhodes for the world title.
My issue with that is Cody can't.
That's not gonna
challenge
happen.
He
for the AEW World Title.
He didn't. He
Yeah.
didn't challenge. He joined a battle royal and he won an opportunity. That's not challenging.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes will win. Cody Rhodes will win the.
That's
AEW
not. That's not.
champion.
That's not challenging. That's being awarded it based on winning. a
Yeah,
match.
he will be, and for the
Moving
real
on.
mark, we'll cry like a baby.
Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa. Only the AEW women's titles on the line.
I don't know. I have no idea on this one.
Hot take. This is going to be the match of the night, and I have Thunder Rosa winning the title.
Sheeta's going to keep it.
Yeah, if it was Tyler Rose's title, but no, she just gonna keep it.
I don't.
I hope she doesn't.
I don't know enough about what the working relationship is with NWA. I think Sheeta's going to retain, and
That's
then
the best part, though, Pat.
Well, that's why I really have no idea who's going to win. Not knowing what is going to happen, I think Sheeta gets the win, and then Sheeta goes and does the job on an NWA show where she loses to Thunder Rosa for the NWA title.
Godfather also has Thunder Rosa with me.
If
Next
if
up.
Thunder Rosa is a full-time AEW wrestler now, then she will win the title.
She's not, so
That's why I don't
she-
think she's
Well-
going to win.
I'm with you, Pat. There's no way. There's no way.
Unless he's doing
I
both.
just.
That's what I'm saying. Unless she's going to be around for at least every other Dynamite, though, like
I find it hard that AEW is going to let somebody come in their front door and take their title. I just find it hard.
Not if she's gonna.
Not if she's working with them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
We
that's
if-
got
what-
Billy Corgan to work with them.
yeah.
That to me says we got something here that we can work with. You make this
That's,
interesting.
and that's what makes this match fun. Is I think there's genuinely a toss up because we don't know what the working relationship is.
All right, tag title match: FTR versus Hangman and Kenny. Ryan has FTR, and I'm gonna agree with him. FTR.
Yeah, it's time for Kenny and Hangman to drop the belt.
Yeah, it's over. It's overdue. Should have happened already.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously, but we'll see.
Up next, we have Jeff and Ben's favorite matchup. It is going to be Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy in Mimosa Mayhem. You can only win by pinfall, submission, or throwing your opponent into the giant thing of mimosa.
Here's what's going to happen. The Dark Order, Inner Circle is going to create like a line across the like tank of mimosa.
I don't mean to rush you, but we are running out of time, so
Yeah.
question quickly, okay?
I am. Orange Cassidy's going to throw Jericho like into them. They're all going to fall back to take the bump for him. They're going to fall into the vat. Judas Effect pin for the 3. Jericho's going over, and then he's getting tossed in.
Jericho's gonna lose by way of Mike Tyson interference.
I think Jericho's going to go over because he has to get his win back. I don't know.
I think Jericho goes over, but still gets thrown into the vat as well.
Oh, well, they're not going to waste a mimosa, of course.
I wouldn't either. Main event time. It is Jon Moxley versus MJF for the AEW World Title. I have MJF. Ryan has MJF. Who do y'all have?
He's
I have-
better than us guys. It's MJF.
I have Jon Moxley. I don't see a world we live in where MJF wins just because. I mean, the way they book Jon Moxley, I don't know. I mean, he's gonna have to cut his head off. I don't understand how he's gonna beat him.
Moxley.
I just
the
don't.
paradigm shift as well in this
Yeah,
match.
can't use his finish.
That's fine, but
they
he
already
still has
showed
to
him
get.
using
Yeah, but he doesn't get
submission
pinned.
to beat
Yeah.
Cage. John Moxley is going to win, and All Out is going to close with Brock Lesnar standing on top of
There it is.
on top of Moxley holding the AEW World Title.
No way.
It's fucking happening. It is happening. Brock Lesnar is coming to AEW. Tony Khan was very coy about what he said in his production call today. I have a feeling Brock Lesnar.
I hope not. I really hope not.
I think pay him for 3 months to beat Moxley and then have another monster beat him and then go away.
I wouldn't be
it-
surprised if instead of Lesnar we have Cleaner Omega, because Full Gear is where Mox Omega had their-
That would be good
Overall.
too. Cleaner Omega to close out the show if it's Moxley. But I got a feel it's Brock Lesnar, and I think that would be pretty cool. To be honest with you,
Let me ask this last question. What do you guys think is going to be the match of the night?
the women's title match.
It's going to be the tag.
I think that's
tag title.
a respectable choice as well.
Here is why the only reason I disagree with you, Ben. I think intentionally Paige is going to be a mess, and I think that's how they're going to tell that story. Like he's going to botch stuff in the ring. Like it's going to be purposely botched because he's so distraught and maybe drunk, and he's just going to be
He
a
doesn't
mess.
know who he is anymore.
Yeah, I think he's purposely going to sell a really tough match to watch as they lose. I think we're going to watch a car wreck in that match.
But that's what's going to make
Maybe.
it so good,
How
Pat.
about-
I think it's going to
But
be
I think in-ring work.
I think it's going to be like a squash match. I think it could be Brody Lee, Cody Rhodes-esque type of squash.
What do you think, man?
If they were just putting on a match, I think you're absolutely right. That would be the match.
I think Thunder Rosa and Sheeta as well.
Awesome. Well, guys, I got to be honest with you. This is probably the pay-per-view I've been excited for the most out of the other 3 or 2 that we've had to do leading
Even
up
a
to.
discussion.
But very excited. Can't wait. We'll talk about it more on Monday. We might even get some live reactions from it. Maybe those will get posted to our Facebook page. As always, please like, share, subscribe. Enjoy yourself some wrestling this weekend. I know football is back. If you're watching football, enjoy it while we can. College game day, I'll see you at 9 a.m. And All Out, I cannot wait. I'll see you guys. Well, I'll probably see y'all Saturday, but we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everybody.